The one thing an animal-based diet does best is kill people. It does this by clogging arteries and restricting the flow of blood and oxygen throughout the body. Deprive the heart of oxygen, you get a heart attack. Deprive the brain of oxygen, you get a stroke. Deprive your tissues and cells of oxygen, and you set up the underlying cause of all cancers. Eating animal foods causes a fatty sludge buildup in your blood, and some of it sticks to the sides of your arteries. Your blood should be as clean and clear as the wine in this glass. When you eat a high-fat meal, it creates a fatty sludge buildup in your blood and causes your body to spend the next 5 hours cleaning up the mess. Of course, the excess fat and cholesterol eventually settles, usually in your arteries. This picture shows how fat and cholesterol build up in the arteries and restrict the flow of blood. The blue circle shows how wide the artery should be, and the red circle shows how narrow it has become. Now imagine blood vessels throughout your entire body clogging up like this. The vast majority of our major diseases today, ranging from heart disease to spinal disc deterioration to senility, are ultimately the result of clogged arteries. In other words, clogged arteries go far beyond heart disease, and almost all Americans have heart disease throughout their entire bodies. The seriousness of clogged blood vessels can't be exaggerated. More people die from blood vessel diseases than from all other causes of death combined. The primary cause of clogged blood vessels is cholesterol, and the only dietary source of cholesterol on the planet is animal foods. Animal foods close arteries. Plant foods open them. This is why our switch from a plant-based diet to an animal-based diet has been the biggest health disaster in human history. In fact, it's been estimated that cholesterol has contributed to more deaths than all the wars of the 20th century, all natural disasters, and all automobile accidents combined. Human bodies simply cannot handle cholesterol. It's the Achilles heel and fatal weakness of an animal-based diet. Movies and history books glorify man slaying animals and make it seem like eating meat was a daily event, but eating animals was extremely rare. In fact, ancient man was more the hunted than the hunter. Since the beginning, some 5 million years ago, humans have been, for all practical purposes, plant-eating vegetarians, living on fruits, leaves, nuts, berries, and other plant foods. Ancient humans ate over 800 varieties of fruits and vegetables. We can eat an unlimited amount of plant foods with health-enhancing effects, but we can only eat a tiny amount of animal foods before our arteries start to get clogged. Cholesterol has been called the animal's revenge because the animals you eat leave a little bit of themselves behind in your arteries every time you eat them, and they'll kill you from their graves. Our liver produces all the cholesterol we'll ever need on its own, and the requirement for cholesterol in our diet is exactly 0. Just ask Dr. Joseph Crowe, a doctor at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation. Dr. Crowe had no family history of heart disease. He was fit, did not smoke, and had a total cholesterol of just 156 when he suddenly experienced a heart attack at the age of 44.
In fact, I was about as close as you can get to not seeing tomorrow, so to speak. My diet was, I would say, pretty much a standard, American diet. We would eat chicken, fish, and we would eat, beef. But I wouldn't say every day.
Instead of dangerous surgery, Dr. Esselstyn, a colleague at the Cleveland Clinic and one of the world's leading authorities in heart disease reversal, told him to simply change his diet. Just a few months after changing his diet, Dr. Crowe's cholesterol went from 156 to 89 without any medication.
It was a big change in the diet, and it was reflected in my blood work. And I was just following the diet, and I was exercising. I mean, I wasn't doing anything else, and I didn't take any medication. The whole set, my total cholesterols have been under 100 without any medication since I started the diet.
Just 32 months after changing his diet, Dr. Crowe's heart disease was completely reversed. This picture shows the diseased, shriveled artery on the left and his healed artery on the right. Dramatic proof of how a plant-based diet heals from within. Dr. Neil Pinkney knows something about clogged arteries. His father died of heart disease at the age of 59. At the age of 58, Dr. Pinkney almost met the same fate when he discovered that his main coronary artery was 100% blocked and the other two were 90 and 85% blocked.
What I did was I thought I was doing all the healthy things. I gave up a lot of steak and roast and pork and ate chicken and fish instead. And I ate white meat chicken breast. Well, I didn't know that a white meat chicken breast had just about the same amount of cholesterol as a T-bone steak. I had no idea, and I was a cheeseaholic. Not only did it give me much more sodium than I needed, but it was giving me 60 or 70% of my calories from fat, when now I'm only at 10% of my calories of fat. It was cheese and the other foods were plugging up my arteries and sending me to the hospital. What one of the doctors said was very apt. He said, "You've got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel."
His cardiologist told him he needed emergency bypass surgery or he would die. He decided to save his own life by walking away from that surgery.
And they said, "Well, you don't want this life-saving procedure?" And I said, "No, it's against my religion." And they all looked at me very quizzically and said, "What is your religion?" And I said, "I'm a devout coward." So with that, against their advice, I went home to learn about how I could repair the damage myself and do something on my own to reverse the heart disease. And I did.
After leaving his surgeons behind, Dr. Pinkney began reading books on reversing heart disease and changing his diet.
My angina, the pain that was so severe, within 2 weeks it was almost all gone. Within 2 months it was completely gone, and I started walking up. I couldn't walk 200 feet without severe pain and have to sit down. And just 3 months later, I was walking 2 miles up a steep hill with no pain. 7 months after I started this program, I finished in the middle of the pack of an 8.2 mile Great Aloha run, and I had never run a race before in my life. But I changed overnight. I mean, not only did I go to avoiding all animal-based foods, but I stopped dairy, milk and all milk products, and eggs and egg whites. I went completely plant-based. And that's, I think, going completely helped clear up my allergies and make me feel better. I lost 45 pounds, and I was a 38 waist. I'm a 32 now. I never felt better in my life.